But first starting out, we kind of wanted to grasp our mind around some frankincense. How many of y'all have ever seen frankincense? How many of y'all know what frankincense even really is? Has anybody had contact with frankincense at all? Probably not very many people in the house, right? Not by itself. I know you can get it in, like, they got some oils now that might have it in it and stuff, but besides the point, it's actually another resin, but this resin is actually used in worship. It's actually burned as an incense to symbolize prayer and holiness. And it was created as kind of like a burnt offering. And they did incense in the Holy of Holies back when they still had to sacrifice, when they had to have a temple they had to go to, when they had to go before him in the throne room, they would burn incense. There were incense that would go up, and it would be symbolic to their prayers rising up and praying for their nation rising up. So they used incense in their worship. They used incense as a show of their prayers going up. And I want to point towards that a little bit. I want to unpack some things. And to unpack some things, we have to go back, right? We have to look at a little history. We have to go back to the Old Testament. And that's the amazing thing I would love about this word, is about the Bible, is that you can look at some things that's going on in the New Testament, and they're predicted in the Old Testament. The Old Testament points to the New Testament. The New Testament points to the Old Testament. It's just amazing how thousands and thousands of years of literature and stories and everything else all point towards one another. They are so interconnected. So the Old Testament points towards the New Testament by prophecies and the things that they were going to proclaim happened, and they did happen in the New Testament. And then we see a lot of things New Testament that are referring back to the Old Testament and pointing out, see, here is where it connects. Here's where it connects. So there's so much interconnected dots in this thing. It is amazing to go back and be able to connect them to the things that we see later on. So the New Testament connects to the Old Testament, and the Old Testament connects to the New Testament. Look at your neighbor and say, it's all connected. It's all connected. It is all connected. All right. So look, turn to another person and say, it's all connected. And just go ahead and tell them, hey, you're not my favorite person, you're not my first choice, but you are my second choice. Right? It's all connected. I just had to throw that in there. It is all connected. So we want to keep it all connected. So we're going to be actually reading through Exodus chapter 30, verses 34 through 38. Like I said, it'll be on the screen as well. And we're just going to look back. All right. So it says, Lord, all right, we're good.